Ooh, baby. Good morning, guys, and welcome into the stream. We have a full slate of Major League Baseball and WNBA games today. 5 WNBA games, and Week 0 college football is on the horizon. So really excited, really pumped to kind of jump into things. So let's kind of get started first. As usual, we're going to get started with DFS, looking at DGF's slip generator. We're going to see if we can cook up any value between underdog, PrizePicks, rebet, take a look at better, dabble, let's see what we have going on. So hopefully you guys are having a strong start to your morning, and I'm really fired up today that we have just a full slate of games. So again, how this tool operates, guys, it's just going to search and scan all the available books and then kind of show us the handful of plays that have an edge. This column right here, this is what we want to focus on. This is as an 18.5% edge right here over on Rebet Prop City. So what I'm going to do, because this has such a high edge, is off to the side here, I'm going to go ahead and cook this up on, say, like a Bet Any Sports, right? And then we'll go ahead and also look to share some slips when it comes to PrizePicks and Underdog as well. So there we go. Let's see. I'm just going to be off to the side here, guys, on another monitor, cooking up this play right here. But first and foremost, guys, welcome in. And really excited to kind of, we're getting so close to football that, Week 0 is going to be upon us on Saturday, 5 games officially. But nice to have a full slate when it comes to the WNBA. Very pumped. So we're looking at Sabali, under 5.5. Again, guys, if you're like me, and if Rebet left your state, or if you don't have, you don't have access to Rebet, or you're very limited on Rebet, you can use various different global books like a Bet Any Sports, a Bet DSI, a Bovada, a Bet Online, and you can still find the same play. Looking at Williams and the Lynx, just trying to get all my WNBA plays set up now. You can still hit all of these up on the global books, which is really nice. And then we're looking at McBride. A lot of unders right now on points, right? And then we're looking at what? So that's 4 WNBA plays. And we got Alicia Gray under as well on her points, rebounds, and assists. But this is for the Vegas game. And then we're looking for Major League Baseball, Mitch Keller, and then Merrill Kelly. So hits allowed, Kelly over on the Royals. My Pirates take care of the Blue Jays last night, but would really probably prefer them to lose all their games so they could get a really good draft pick for next year. Because we are coming to that part of the season, guys, where it just, certain teams, it doesn't really matter. Again, this is going to be a long shot underdog place, plus 7,300 odds. So I'm just going to go in for like $10. Okay, right? Like this is a crazy long shot underdog. I'm just going to have some fun with it. And all right, so we're in on this play here with over on Props Builder. All right, let's go ahead and click generate once more. And it looks like we have a 6-pick entry over here on PrizePicks. Now, the only thing for me, guys, is that I can't I can't bet on collegiate player props. So, or at least I don't think I can. So we're going to try this one out. This is going to be a 6-pick entry. And let's see how it goes. Irish, good morning to you, my friend. Wow, I can? Okay, so that actually caught me off. It's been a minute. But I can. So wasn't expecting I could actually bet on collegiate player props. I thought I couldn't in Arizona. But, I haven't. The last time I lived in Arizona, I couldn't do collegiate player props. Ken, good morning to you. So there's that 6-pick entry over on PrizePicks. All right. And we'll click, again, generate once more. That just has under a 9% edge, which is nice to see. Looks like we have a 6-pick entry with underdog. I can actually hit this one up. So let me go ahead off to the side again, and let me fire this play up with underdog. Hopefully, if we move quickly, we can grab this. Doc on his under 33. We got the under 30. Okay. Keller, we're going over on his outs, which is something a little different. And then we're looking at Wilson, under 27.5 points in assists. All right. There it is. Okay, let me share that link with you guys. Let me copy this. And appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Only underdog can't do college props. Good to know. So that just opens up the door a little bit more with PrizePicks, which is really nice. All right, shared an underdog slip. Shared a PrizePicks slip. What else do we have? So then this is a 2-pick entry over on Prop City for, and then this is a different 6-pick entry. So this is that Merrill Kelly play that we saw earlier, and then K weighing 10. Also, guys, every now and then, I don't mind doing a little bit of a spot. I don't mind a spot check. So we're looking at the under 4.5 hits allowed, Padres, Giants. And, I just like to take a look. See if this is actually a legitimate play. Obviously, it's really good over on ProfitX. Bookmakers at -105, getting this at -103 on Props Builder. That doesn't instill actually a ton of confidence in me. I'm not going to lie, because I think bookmakers pretty sharp. So maybe not something I'm truly all that interested in. But if you disagree and you don't think that bookmakers are all that sharp with their player props, then this could be a play that you want to go after. But honestly, seeing it as a straight up play, I'd go over to ProfitX. There's only $158 in liquidity, and you can get a plus 112 odds, which is really good. That's 17 cents off the bookmaker. So I would rather go over there. Let's look at this. This is a 5 or a 6-pick entry. Let's see here. Okay, slightly different, but I'll go with this. Right, we have Art lower 27.5 on the underdog slip. This is over 25.5. Obviously, we're looking to kind of hit a middle on this play, so which happens all the time in esports in terms of just hitting middles. Unfortunately, the max I can wager right now is $5. And I'm working on getting another PrizePicks account for the NFL season, and so that's going to be happening here probably within a week or so. So for the guys that show up every day. What's going on, Los Bets? The guys that are on the streams every day, just so you know, there's going to be, I've been strategically saving a certain partnership for football season. So for you guys that are like, you can only bet $5 on PrizePicks. What's the difference? Well, I'm saving that right now for a really good time of the year. Also, I mentioned this yesterday's stream. For those of you that live in Arizona, or if you come to Arizona, Desert Diamond is a Canby sportsbook. It's an Arizona-specific sportsbook, but it uses Canby's odds. And they just went through a massive uplift in terms of new app. They shut their app down for like a couple of days and their website down, and now it's a new revamped. It really looks the same, to be honest. But your limits are reset. So just to show, it's so cool. If you guys live in Arizona, you got to make sure that you hit this up, because my personal account I'm using under my name with Desert Diamond. I'm getting a code right now. You get $250 in bonus bets, which is awesome. Awesome. So if I just go ahead and grab like this Tigers play, what you're going to notice, guys, I used one yesterday, but I have 4 more $50 bonus bets. I got limited on Desert Diamond like when I lived in Arizona a few years ago, but because of this new kind of look for their site, they reset everyone's limits. So if you've ever used Desert Diamond and got limited, it's reset. I can bet whatever I want. So really nice gift right before football season. If you guys are out here, or anyone that lives out in State 48, check that out. It's really, really good. They're also offering, I'll have to see how their Friday promotions are, but they're doing a diamond giveaway. If you guys run any 3-leg parlays, you can hit that up. So they're I would say, you get a welcome match, 100% up to $250. The cool thing is, guys, is like they already saw that I had an old account. Like I didn't have to show my ID or like, my face or anything. So really nice little gift right before the start of football season. All right, let's take a look at the optimizer over here at OddsJam. And let's see what we got cooking. So let's see if we have anything for better. Okay, so for better, we have some round one tour championship. Unfortunately, we can't throw all three of these together on one slip. But, the idea here, guys, is that when we're looking at these plays, OddsJam is going to tell us if it's green, it's good. Yellow, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. If it's red, then it's not good. But in my opinion, I like to kind of dissect and look at where certain sports books have certain odds. So I just don't take everything on this screen as Bible, right? I like to evaluate what is on this screen. I put a little bit more weight on certain sports books. Like, for instance, on Sam Burns here, we're receiving a great price over on DraftKings, right? Compared to DraftKings, this is a great price on Better, But I don't really know. I don't really know. There's only one sports book. B, this is the under 4 on his birdies, where it's under 4.5 on DraftKings. So if he gets 4 birdies, it's a push on Better. You win this on DraftKings. But I don't have any other sports books providing me odds. So I really don't know how amazing of a play this is. And for me, this is one that I'm just going to pass, right? If we go down here, though, and I see that maybe there's, for Jimenez, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, okay, there's a lot of other books that are offering odds on this play, okay? So I have a little bit more confidence when evaluating this. So kind of just some different best practices that I like to look at. We do have one more week of preseason football. So when I'm looking at this Seahawks or Dolphins spread, I don't see any odds from Pinnacle or FanDuel. Very difficult for me to want to go ahead and place this bet because it looks very good on Fliff compared to BetMGM. But again, this is only one sportsbook providing odds. If DraftKings shows odds of plus 115, then I really don't have all that great of a value compared to Fliff. So it's very difficult sometimes when you're looking at this screen, right? I wouldn't get super excited that this is a 7.5% edge because there's only one other sports book that's giving us odds. So normally I just ignore all of this because there isn't much for me to go off of. That's just how I like to use the screen, guys. I would say that it's probably in your best interest to follow suit. If you're just taking plays off of just one book, I want that one book to be a FanDuel or a Pinnacle. Not all excited if it's DraftKings. Apologies, I have a little bit of congestion, but okay, parlay play. And you're going to see sometimes where I disagree with OddsJam. Man, I am on a struggle bus this morning. Good golly. But you're going to see there's some times where I disagree with their algorithm and other times where I'll just stay away. I'm not going to force a play. But if I like something, I'll definitely hop on it. So yeah, DraftKings pick 6-3. This is 3 pick entries, no insurance. Again, based off this drop down, guys, how you're getting paid out, that's how OddsJam comes up with these odds. So that means each individual pick is minus 137 on a 2-man entry with no insurance. So currently, 3-man entries with no insurance are the best priced for plays. 6-man entries are the next best, and then I'd go 2-man entries, no insurance. So OddsJam thinks that this Walker Buehler play still isn't any of any value. They think this should be priced at minus 119 spot 49. Think of it like buying a stock. They think you should pay $119.49. We're paying $122 on DraftKings. This isn't a value. That's how this tool kind of works. What else do we have that we can look? So if I see something, I'll obviously spend the time and pause on Dabble. Again, 5 pick entries are the best. But the next best would be either 3-man entries with no insurance or 6-man entries with no insurance. So it's a 1 cent difference. Dylan Beavers, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Okay. Little bit of a mixed bag here. Bovada and DraftKings agree on this price, but then compared to BetMGM, I'd rather bet this on MGM, right? So if you're looking to place a straight wager, I'd rather go to MGM and place this bet because you're just getting a better price. But honestly, there isn't a lot here that really gets me all that excited, and that will change as we get near football and basketball season. But yeah, just not all that excited. For arbitrage betting, guys, if you're looking to try to secure some football bets, what you're going to want to focus on is maybe a custom date range, right? As you can see here, I have the 18th to the 25th selected because we want to have some week 0. If you want to start to low, though, all the books are going to have week 1 college football lines out. So if you want, what you can do is just kind of come back to custom, come from the 19th, and then go all the way maybe to the 7th, right? And if you wanted to look specifically for college football, you could say, what do we got? And what you're going to notice is like we got a arb here between FanDuel and Bovada, right? Or we have second quarter money lines, which honestly, second quarter money lines, there's a chance this bet gets refunded to you because there's a push. Now, if we're looking to make a bet on Texas and Ohio State, to be honest with you guys, I'm not very interested in this because betting an under on Bovada a week in advance is not something I want to do, right? Just because of Bovada. By the way, guys, Kalshi's you guys make sure you sign up with Kalshi. They're making a big push. They just had an announcement where they're going to be adding some NFL player props for the NFL season. They're making a push. They're going to be a book, a predictions market that we're going to be talking about this season. Books kind of come and go. The landscape always changes. Kalshi's definitely going to be in the mix this football season. They want to get their hands in on the action. So I need to make sure I sign up with Kalshi because I'm a little lagging behind. So I'm going to be doing that this week. But again, this is a 2.5% edge where if you wanted to wager $370 total, 170 on the over, 200 on the under, there's no way they can score a half point here. They're either going to score 51 points or more or 50 points or less. You're going to make $9.61 or 2.5% return off of $370. If you only can wager maybe a grand total of $37, I would round this up to $20. Don't bet $19.77. Again, you're going to make a 2.5% return no matter how much money you invest into this play, right? So click into the calculator, type in a number. If you have some flexibility with your bankroll, once you get past $100, I like to end my wagers in zeros and in fives. So simply what I'll do is I'll just kind of type in some different numbers. And I'll say, okay, can I get this? Boom, look at this, 175, 150. This is nice. I'm betting increments of 25 on both sides of a bet. So I just knock off the 49 cents in loose change. Yes, I'm going to maybe give up a handful of profit, but it's a little easier to type in 150 on FanDuel than it is 150 spot 49. So I like to play with the calculator, find nice increments that look like casual sports bettor increments. Bet 175, bet 150. We're going to make $8 no matter what happens. You're good to go. Same thing if you're over here and you're looking to bet 40. I would just round this up to $35, right? These are things that I like to do. Play with the calculator. Don't bet $33. Don't bet $122. No casual sports bettor bets $122. You want to stick out like a sore thumb to these sports books? Go ahead and bet $147. Nobody does that. Nobody does, right? Stop being robotic. Just start using a little creativity. You know what? Nobody bets $34.40 unless you're trying to show the sports books that you're arbitrage betting. They don't know that you're arbitrage betting, but adding loose change to the end of your bets, that's an easy red flag. You saying, hey, look at me, I arbitrage bet. Don't do that. So try to play with the calculator and find optimal bet sizes. Okay, very important. But outside of college football, if we're just going to kind of select everything and look at what's going on for today. That's pretty much it. My percentage size, the maximum is 10%. Anything beyond 10% return coming back from your investment for a pregame ARB probably is a mistake made by the sports books. And these sports books will punish you if you take advantage of their mistakes. Naturally, guys, something I mentioned yesterday, it's a new feature that was added for arbitrage betting. Really excited. Custom advanced filters by sportsbooks. So if you want to go after FanDuel, you can create specific filters on just FanDuel. You want to go by market, you want to go by league, odds range, date range, games, whatever you want. You can do this for each individual sportsbook, which is really cool. So if you think that there's a really good ARB opportunity between Caesars and maybe MGM and Bet Rivers, you can set that up. Advanced filters, not just for domestic books, but global books. No VIG right here, ProfitX. You can do the same thing. Every sports book you can now create advanced filters for on the arbitrage tool. So I would highly recommend checking that out. Obviously, guys, if you're on the fence about starting an odds jam, we're really getting into the time of the season. Okay, we really are. Football's about to be officially back. So use code Billy35 or Billy C. It's going to be here in the chat. You're going to get a 1-week free trial, and then you're going to get 35% off your first month after the 1-week trial ends. So Pena on strikeouts, ESPN Bet365. My man's either going to strike out or he's not, right? And you're going to get a 4% return off of this investment, which is really, really good. But obviously, if you see any time that there's an ARB to Pinnacle, Barania, however you say Kimmer's last name, right? This is a game spread that's the afternoon. What do I mean an ARB to Pinnacle? When the plus odds are larger than the minus odds, that's an arbitrage play. DraftKings, you could literally ARB this between Pinnacle and DraftKings and make risk-free money. Typically, they just changed their odds, so this was good at minus 130. You can make, this is a really good bet just to place over on DraftKings, and it was awesome at minus 130. Sportsbooks odds, guys, are no different than the stock market's odds. They're constantly changing. So here with Molken and Ivanov, this is the same thing. Plus odds on both sides of a wager. You can day trade these books, make risk-free money. I would go bet this over straight up over on Hard Rock. Have a great time. Plus 125 odds on the minus 5.5. I like this play on the game spread. This match is starting, or it already started, but this is live. Different things that you can do, right? Is this real? Is this real right now with Molcan? Let me see. Yeah. So, but the odds unfortunately changed. But if it's for live, something else that I like to do, guys, when it's live, I'll just kind of click the play button, right? So if you're looking to live arbitrage bet, I made a video on this with OddsJam. This is the first tip. This is what I like to do. A lot of people, when they want to get into live arbitrage betting, they just kind of, their setup is completely incorrect. Chi-Town, what's going on? Shy, what's going on? So if you're looking to live arbitrage bet, guys, just come over here and click the play button first. See what sports books are popping up and having a marriage together, right? And what I already know in my head is that like Bet365 and Hard Rock, maybe MGM, DraftKings, those are going to be books that pop up probably a lot here, okay? So when I click the play button, I'm really just looking to see, do I see certain combinations of sports books popping up together consistently? Right? Then once I maybe have an idea of what is popping up, I'm then going to go ahead and log into those books, and I'm just going to click the pause button, and then I'm just going to select the books that I see pop up all the time, right? And then I'm just going to say, these are the 5 books that I'm going to arbitrage with, right? That's how I do it. Then I'm going to go ahead and log in. Then I'm going to go over to the tennis section, and I'm just going to focus on live arbing tennis. And I'm going to set my filters up this way. Far too often, people try to log into all these books and try to capture all the plays at once. And it's literally like trying to find your kid in a massive amusement park. It's almost literally impossible. So just try to focus in on a couple of sports books, but go over to the arbitrage tool first and then click the play button and see what pops up together. That would be my recommendation. And then go log into those books and go over to those markets. Let's look at some player home runs. And if you guys find any value in the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Click the thumbs up button. We are getting close to 7,500 subs. We're giving away $75 to 7 people on the day that we hit that number. That next stream is going to be a fun stream. Going to be a little different. Balloons. Probably I'll be popping a bottle of champagne on here. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's look at some DVIG settings. Let's go to Pinnacle. Let's go to Additive. Let's go to Markets. Let's clear out everything. For those of you that are subscribed, obviously, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. That does not go unnoticed, especially for you OGs, D-Gens, channel members, then guys that are just, regulars that have been showing up, like Asatya, who's been following me for over a year. Awesome guy, and, I really appreciate your support. So guys like that does not go unnoticed, guys. We've been doing this for a minute now. If you guys are curious, I do want to say this. YouTube has been giving me a lot of guff, a lot of warnings I've been receiving from YouTube about my previous live streams. So that's why I decided to remove all my old live streams, because I was getting dangerously close to getting a strike. If you guys don't know, basically with YouTube, 3 strikes and you're out when it comes to no results. 3 strikes and you're out when it comes to your channel. So I was receiving a lot of warnings, so I just decided to remove all my old live streams as a precaution. Excuse me. So that's kind of why you don't see anything. You can't go back and watch anything at the moment, because the one thing that I've noticed is any of the global books guys, I will be placing bets. I'm just going to be placing them off to the side. I'm not going to be placing the bets on the stream in front of you. I'm just going to be doing it off on another monitor. That's definitely one thing that I have noticed that YouTube does not like, so I got to play ball. But let's take a look at Ballpark Pal. So Pinnacle is not showing any odds right now for player home runs. A little annoying. Ballpark Pal, guys, I would honestly, if you're going to sign up for it, it's $10 a month. I don't have a code to shill. Here's my email address here at the top. If you want to email me, hit me up. But as we're getting, we don't have a lot of baseball left, so I would just say maybe pay the $10 a month and that's it. Don't sign up for the rest of the season. Coors Field, Target Field, Angel Stadium, Citizens Bank Park, Steinbrenner Field, where the Rays play. That would be my top ballparks that I want to go after. Naturally, Kauffman Stadium, Wrigley Field, Marlins Stadium, Fenway Park. Probably I'm not interested in betting in those ballparks today. Yeah, already a little bit. I don't know. It's just kind of how it's been going. Yeah, Irish, honestly, man, I've put in 3+ years on this YouTube. So if we do the streams, it might have to be a P2 YouTube for sure, brother. But we're just going to, if I keep getting warnings on the live streams, then I'll just, I'll live stream and then I'll just take it down after it's all done. Because nobody really goes back and watches the old live streams. So it's fine. All right, so because Pinnacle's my GOAT when it comes to betting player home runs. And because that's not the case right now, we're not seeing odds for them. It might be that they just don't have any odds posted at the moment. So this is my next best combination, which is I go over and pull up Odds Jam, and then I go look at the games where I am excited about. So like the Rockies and the Dodgers. FanDuel Boost, guys. It is Tuesday, right? I am now officially in the midst of transitioning into a different FanDuel account, so I will not be placing a bet. But if I had a FanDuel account right now, I would be placing it on Andy Pajes to go deep. I would take that 50% boost, and I would put this over here on FanDuel, right? $10 wager on DraftKings or Fanatics pays out $37. It pays out $46 on FanDuel. Literally an extra $9 in your pocket. You slap that 50% boost on this, and it looks really good. So that would be my 50% boost maybe on Pajes. Now, if we're looking at maybe the Twins and the A's, you're going to see a lot of Ballybet, and if you guys don't have Ballybet, you can use BetParks as well. Ballybet can be sportsbook, but for some reason, Ballybet and BetParks give slightly better prices on player home runs compared to BetRivers. It's interesting. But as you can see here for Ryan Jeffers, MGM, Bet365, Ballybet, Bovada, they all offer good prices. You could see that BetRivers is at plus 550, where Ballybet's at plus 600. I am going to go over to Bet365 and hit this play up. And I do like this. Now, it's not a high edge play, so I'm probably just going to go like $25 on this play. It may be $30. So let me log in over here on my phone on Bet365. I don't really feel like dealing with the location on this right now when it comes to my desktop, so we'll just kind of do it here on my phone. So we're looking at Jeffers at plus 600 odds. Let's go over here and let's see what we can do. There he is. And we'll go for 25. So it's not nothing ridiculous, smaller bet, but there we go. In for 25 on Jeffers. I like the hitting conditions today. So again, you can do this, get this at BetMGM, Bovada, Bet365, Ballybet. There we go. Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz, honestly, a little low. I'm going to probably stay away from that one. Let's take a look at the Reds game. They are in Anaheim. Nothing at the moment there, all right? How about the Mariners and the Phillies? Mariners and Phillies, about 19 runs scored yesterday. Nothing. What about the Rays and the Yankees? Cody Bellinger. It's not a super high edge. Plus 500 odds. Again, if you want to put your FanDuel boost on this, fine by me. I can only bet probably about like $8 on this play to begin with. So I'll go ahead and fire this up over here on Ballybet. Which naturally, guys, as we get closer to football season, things are going to change. You'll start to notice that I'll be able to start to wager a lot more money over on Ballybet. But we'll just kind of hold off. That's going to be kind of very strategic in this. And again, I made a video talking about, guys, if you're new to EV betting, or if you're EV betting, but you're new to betting on maybe long shots and you're a little nervous betting long shots, this is where you need to use your limited accounts. Start using your limited accounts to try new strategies. Okay. There we go. So we're looking at Bellinger plus 500 odds. Can I bet $10? No, $7.29. This is where you're using your limited accounts and placing a couple bets each day, maybe on player home runs, or when we get to the NFL season, anytime touchdown scores. And what you're going to notice is that this is a different way, whether it's parlay betting or it's doing this, you're going to be able to test out new strategies on your limited account. It's going to help you get your feet wet betting into these markets. That's what it's all about. Starting out with this and just getting your feet wet, right? If you always wanted to start to EV bet for parlays, that's how you can do it. Let's look at this Riley Green play really quick because this is kind of an outlier on Bet365. Yeah, I mean, the Tigers game, Tigers are playing at home. It's 0% at Comerica Park, so it's not like it's terrible. It's not like it's minus 18%. So let's go grab some Riley Green right now because I would like that. He's obviously a power hitter, and this is a really good play in terms of just the odds. This is only really solid over at maybe Bet365 or, again, Ballybet. You want to put your boost on FanDuel over here on this? Fine by me. I'm just going to round this up to $75 for him to go deep. Because it's not even as good as it once was. Am I wrong now? Did it change? Yeah, it changed. So now we're at plus 600 odds. Okay, so we'll change this. I'll just put $50 on this play because it's not going to be, price changed. It was good at 625 plus 600 odds. We'll see how it goes, right? Slightly worse price, but still something that I want a little bit of exposure to. Neutral hitting conditions, I'm okay with that. Okay, there we go. Tyler Soderstrom. plus 500 odds. Not bad. Not bad. Again, talked about this yesterday. If you're like, Billy, I'm limited on Bally Bet and I'm limited on Bet365. But if you have access to NoVig and ProfitX, I would literally right now go over to NoVig and I would go create a market. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'd go over to ProfitX and I'd say, okay, Tyler Soderstrom, A's and the Twins. I'd come over here and I'd say, and I live in Arizona, so I can't use ProfitX anymore, RIP ProfitX. And I'd go to home runs and I'd say, where's Soderstrom? I'd say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and create this play. Okay, I'm going to create this play over here on Soderstrom on the over. Okay, and I wouldn't take this at the plus 460 odds. I would say, you know what? I'll go put this at plus 508, offering the best price on his under, right? You can see it's minus 510. Maybe you put a plus 505, plus 508 here on this over. Now you're getting a good price on the over, and you're offering the best price on the under. That's how you can use these markets and these exchanges to create positive EV plays. You could literally do this on maybe on Ryan Jeffers. The best under right now is minus 609. Go set the odds at plus 602 in your favor on NoVig, offering the best odds on the under. Think outside the box when you're using these exchanges. You can create a lot of really good plays for yourself doing that, right? But most people don't think that. They're too robotic. They go, well, I can't really bet this, Billy, so I'm just going to ignore it. But like, dude, if you have access to the exchanges, you can create all of these bets plus EV plays, and you can really add a lot to your portfolio. So that would be my recommendation. Let's look at FanDuel. Let's look at worst case. Let's look at pitcher strikeouts. Also, I definitely want to make sure I mention this as well. Couple of things. If you want to work with me one-on-one, then book a free 30-minute discovery call with me, guys. I am offering coaching. Appreciate that, Satya. Steph on plus 550, solid value. Money line, plus 520. I like that. Oh, you always give very good recommendations. Rick, good morning to you as well. Yeah, Chi-Town, they might have changed what's going on right now with your state. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, sit down. We kind of talk about your risk tolerance, your profile, the books that you have, what you're looking to achieve sports betting. We can kind of set up a free 30-minute call, see if coaching is in the works. I offer some different packages where we kind of talk about you, where we set aside an hour plus recorded video calls. We work through your setup, whether it's EV betting, live betting, whatever the case may be. If you guys want, check out the link down below. Been working with some people right now, been seeing some good results. But as we're getting into football and basketball season, the idea here is it's a Disney Fast Pass. You get to the front of the line, and instead of you trying to figure out what's working and what's not working, I just tell you what to do and give you a cheat sheet blueprint, no matter the sport, no matter the season, and show you exactly what you need to do to make money. So let's take a look at some strikeouts here. Let's look at team rankings, which it's not everything, but it's a site that I like to use. If you want to look at more how hitters perform against certain pitches or matchups with pitchers, I'm cool with that. Max Scherzer, Onyx, don't like that bookmakers at plus 110. FanDuel's at minus 112. FanDuel did move. Bookmakers flat here. Interesting. Pirates strike out a little bit more than your average team. I will say that. My Buccos are about three. Yeah, they strike out the 8th most in Major League Baseball. They do strike out less at home than on the road. But again, they're about 8th or 9th in terms of rankings for strikeouts in Major League Baseball. I do like that FanDuel just moved about 20 minutes ago. They went from a plus 102 to a minus 112. So that's 14 cents in movement, guys. Honestly, I'm interested in that a little bit. While I think the bookmaker's kind of sharp, I don't mind going after this. I'm not going to bet $270. But again, this is where Onyx can be, a nice change of pace. So let me go ahead and log into Onyx right now, guys. They're a DraftKings skin, right? So let me go ahead and share my phone here. We're looking at Scherzer under 5.5. I'm not like over the moon on this play. I'm not like really excited about it, but I think this is something that I definitely want to go after just a little bit. So where's the pitcher strikeouts? And it just changed to plus 105. So at plus 105, I'm not interested in this play. At 115, I am. But at 105, not so much. So the odds just changed, and that's unfortunate because I'm just not excited about that play. At 105. More excited about it at plus 115. Mitch Keller under 3.5. Now, here's what I will say, guys. Toronto strikes out the least amount in Major League Baseball. On the road, they strike out the second least. So, if I'm over at no vig, I like this play at no vig. There's only $53 of liquidity. But here's something else that I would consider doing, right? Unfortunately, 4CX hasn't shown a play yet, but I would also just maybe go over to Sport Trade. For myself, because I can use Sport Trade in Arizona. They are an exchange. And I would just go use Sport Trade and try to set this up at, again, plus 115 odds, right? That's how I look to set this under up for Mitch Keller. This is a play that I'd really like because, as we mentioned, the Blue Jays don't strike out that much. Edward Cabrera, pretty sure he pitches for the Marlins. Let's take a look at the sharp books. Circa, bookmaker, what do we got? So in this scenario here, and again, guys, this is platinum over at OddsJam. If you're going to try the 1-week free trial, talk to the customer support team. Tell them you want to try platinum and just lie. Tell them anything. Tell them I told you you could get it for free, right? Throw me under the bus, whatever you need to do to get a free week of platinum. Tell them you want a free week of platinum because Billy C said so. In this scenario, we have 4 different books that have 4 different opinions. And while bookmaker moved ever so slightly on this play, there isn't really any movement here from a book. It's difficult for me to really get excited about this play. I am looking for specific movements. Now, St. Louis strikes out the 5th least amount in Major League Baseball. So this under looks tasty, right? And it looks like the Cardinals are on the road. They strike out a little bit more. But again, I'm not seeing any specific movement from a book, so I'm just probably going to bypass that. Tanner Beebe, under 4.5. Little bit of movement here from FanDuel. Little bit. But they just moved 2 cents, which is nice, but I'm looking for a little more than that. It's honestly what I'm looking for. Eduardo Rodriguez. Again, bookmaker and FanDuel kind of disagree here. But as you can see, FanDuel hasn't moved a ton. Bookmaker has, though. They were at plus 110. They moved to plus 104. 6 cents is a nice little bit of movement there. And FanDuel's kind of moving up from a minus 110 to minus 108. So but it's not enough on a player prop. So these are things that I'm really kind of focused on. Here's where I would like this play a little more. Bookmaker, Circa, FanDuel, they're all fairly aligned with their pricing on this under for Austin Gomber. And when I click into this, you can see that this is what I want to see. This is a big movement. FanDuel went from plus 128 to plus 108 an hour ago. That's a 20-cent movement in price. But Bet365 is still hanging this at plus 125. Okay. Now, the Dodgers do strike out a bit more, but really they're middle of the pack. They're on the road. On the road, they do strike out the 4th most on the road. But I'm okay with going after Bet365 on this because of that movement from FanDuel. So in this case, I'll bet above my edge a little bit more because of that movement. I'll go $75 on this play because of that movement by FanDuel. I think that that's important to pay attention to. I understand that under 2.5 strikeouts is insane to bet on. My only thing is have you watched the Rockies starting pitching this year? The Dodgers could literally knock Gomber out after an inning or two. So it can happen. It can definitely happen. Okay, there we go. Scherzer's at 1. Yeah, so Irish, good point. If you guys can get that over at DK, grab that over at DK. Now, what I will say about Onyx, while I was disappointed that we couldn't get that play on Scherzer, obviously you'll grab that at DraftKings. But if you guys want some like free money, easy, low-hanging fruit, sign up with Onyx, deposit and play through $10. You're going to get $100 in bonus bets. Use my code Billy, and you're going to get $100 in bonus bets. So I like Onyx a lot when it comes to live betting. So if you're limited on DraftKings when it comes to live, go use Onyx. Onyx is very viable for live. I ripped on them a lot in past because of how slow they were for pregame betting, but they are usable for live, 100%. 100%. So go check them out. Deposit, bet $10. You get $100 in bonus bets for your first sign up. It's a very good deal. Let's go back here to the top. Let's see. Kind of interested in that Cabrera play just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because it's just nice to kind of see that. But it's just tough where everything's kind of off. But the fact that the Cardinals don't strike out a lot, I got to grab some of this. I'm just going to go $100 on this Cabrera play. But just knowing that the Cardinals don't strike out a lot is something that gets me really excited. We're looking for plus 128 odds over here on Bet365. And again, guys, if you're limited on Bet365, same rules still apply when it comes to, going after certain sports books. That's kind of what it's all about. So there we go. We get the Cabrera play, $100. And obviously, if you guys don't know, Bet365 is going to be an awesome time for NBA player props. Awesome time. Outside of that, what we can also do, guys, is apply the same type of strategy when betting on pitcher strikeouts, but we can use Pinnacle. We can use Bookmaker. Looks like Pinnacle doesn't have any odds set at the moment. We can use Circa. Totally fine with that. And the idea is still, again, targeting teams that either strike out a lot, betting the pitcher's overs, or a team that doesn't strike out a lot, betting the pitcher's unders, right? But looking at movement in the sports books, right? So if we're being told to bet the over 5.5, have any books moved recently? Okay, now Bet365 moved a lot from 125 to 150. I don't really like that type of movement. I want to see this type of movement from a sharp sports book, not so much from the recreational book. But these are little things, guys, that if you're not crazy about, oh man, I'm not seeing a lot of value using FanDuel as a sharp, Billy, this is where you could say, holy smokes, use some other sharp books. Bookmaker just moved a lot from plus 124 to plus 105. Well, they're moving because of a certain reason, right? A sharp book's moving for a certain reason. We're looking at Joe Ryan. If I'm looking at obviously the A's, or on team rankings, guys, they're Sacramento. The A's are on the road. The A's strike out a lot more on the road. A's are top 10, about top 12 maybe, striking out. But this is the under 6.5, right? Joe Ryan can rack up strikeouts, but this bookmaker just really moved a lot. You know what? I do want to place this bet now for $100. And so whether it's Bet365, BetMGM, Ballybet, FanDuel, DraftKings, if you see a sharp sports book move in one direction, then go pick off the book that hasn't moved. That would be my recommendation. And if it's a Fanatics or an MGM that you're betting on, I have a lot of confidence in those types of plays. Joe Ryan obviously can rack it up, but I'm going to place a $100 wager on him right now to go grab that because Bookmaker moved in such a big fashion in one direction, right? Skunky, what's going on, man? Yeah, that's a great point there, Irish, and obviously appreciate you saying that, Satya. If you guys have access to Onyx and DraftKings, we talk about not wanting to get limited or, not worrying about getting limited, I would much rather you guys use your Onyx account first and burn through that account and then go use DraftKings, especially this time of the year. While football's coming up, dude, DraftKings is a great time to bet NBA. So if you can use Onyx right now and through parts of football season, and then once you get limited to, $5, then go use your DraftKings account. But very viable option for Onyx. I don't think it gets talked about how you can use them for live betting. Okay, Nick Pivetta going up against the Giants. DraftKings at plus 125. Yeah, DraftKings is the one moving a lot here. So I'm not really interested in that as much. But there we go. Yeah, I agree with that, Sally. That's a really good point with the sweepstakes model. I haven't had any issues with that, but obviously, there can always be some different stories on what's happening. And yeah, sweepstakes in general, guys, you just want to be a little bit more careful. Schoolball under over 7.5 strikeouts. Again, right? Circa's a sharp book, but you know what? Bookmaker just moved. And they were at plus 122. They moved to plus 105, meaning they went from an underdog to less of an underdog. So we're looking to bet the over 7.5 on one of the, if not the best pitcher in baseball. And I know he's maybe been a little disappointing in terms of strike. He didn't hit his, he's not always hitting his strikeouts. Dude can go and get 12 to 15 strikeouts easy. Houston ranks 9th in baseball, striking out the least amount. But the last 3 games, they've averaged 13 Ks. They are on the road, which they are one of the better teams. They strike out the 5th least amount in baseball. But I'm okay, again, going over to Bet365 and doing a little sprinkle here. I don't mind betting $100 on Schoolbull to hit this number, right? And especially when I know that I'm going... There's a couple things that I also like about this play. Number one, they're going to let him throw. They're going to let him get 100 pitches, right? They're not going to yank him. Number two, this is literally one of the most elite pitchers in all of baseball. I know Satya is going to love this because he's a big Tigers fan. But good to hear that, Rick. You have gotten paid. Love to hear that. Yeah, obviously you want to be careful, guys, right? And this isn't just with sweepstakes, but this is also going to be with global sports books, especially lesser-known global sports books. Not the Bovadas or the BetOnlines of the world, but, some of the other books that maybe, a Jazz sports book or, a Bet Now. You want to be careful with some of the lesser-known books, in terms of dumping all your money into those books. Bet365, they're a huge book. Don't have any issues using them. So there we go. We get Schoolbull again. A lot of strikeouts here with Bet365, but I'm cool with that. Obviously, you can get this on Ballybet or BetParks as well. All right, there we go. Let's go back over and look at some DFS. Let's see what else we got cooking for DFS. By the way, guys, very high probability that I think it's Thursday's stream. I think Thursday's stream is going to be a live betting stream. Yeah. So just to kind of give you a heads up, this Thursday, there's going to be Thursday in Major League Baseball is typically is the quietest day of the week in terms of number of games. We're going to be live betting on Thursday because a lot of games are going to be going on between, the early afternoon, middle afternoon. So we're not going to do a morning live stream on Thursday. I'm just going to focus it on live betting. And honestly, guys, while the live streams are still happening, we're coming out of the slow season. So if I can get because we're going to be getting back pretty soon to streaming twice a day, every day. But for right now, we're still kind of in that off season. Here is a 6-pick entry over on Rebet, Prop City. We did hit this Merrill Kelly play up earlier and Alicia Gray. But if you guys want to hit this one up as well, again, this is 6-leg parlay. Don't bet the mortgage on this. Okay? Just go soft. Go low. But Thursday's stream, I think, is going to be a live betting stream for baseball because of all the games are going to be going on during the afternoon. So tomorrow we'll stream at 9 a.m. Eastern, And then Thursday, it'll probably be somewhere around maybe 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific. We might do a little stream there, switch it up. And that's just going to be based on what's going on in the calendar. So, but very excited. And then honestly, guys, for Saturday's stream, while we have a couple games going on with college football, might look to live bet that Kansas State-Iowa State game. So that game kicks off, I believe, at noon. So might look to just live bet that game, guys. So the live stream would be, maybe we start the live stream off. When the game kicks off, we start with just some baseball plays. And then as we get towards like the end of the first quarter, start to look to live bet that Kansas State-Iowa State. So maybe get the first half of the stream on Saturday, pregame betting, and then get the second half of the stream live betting that football game. I know you love that. I know you love any Tariq over for sure. Yeah, Los Bets. I mean, listen, I've had very good experiences with the offshore books, and getting paid. But but that's because if you're going after the reputable offshores, the globals, like the Bovadas, the BetOnlines, the bookmakers, I'm fine with that. You're going to hear some stories about how my bookie or XBet might void a certain play here or there, which I've heard that for sure. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. Again, guys, you want to take all of this with a grain of salt, right? If you're depositing into Rebet, same thing, right? You want to take this with a grain of salt. Whereas, we want to be careful with what we're going after in terms of, putting a lot of money in certain books. You want to think about what you're doing, right? Maybe don't have too much exposure, too much risk. All right, so here's a different 5-pick entry over on PrizePicks. There we go. Yeah, Bet Whale. The only one that's ever gotten me is Juice Bets. And when I had a feeling that maybe Juice Bets and Bet Whale were using were pretty much the same, I just kind of got out of Bet Whale altogether. And so what I've kind of learned, guys, is I stay away from those kind of niche offshore books. And those global books might have been around for a long time. But, outside of OddsJam, that's the one beautiful thing with OddsJam is OddsJam does a great job of having a very large library of books available for you to bet on. The problem is that you need to, and this is something I think is best practice, if you see a new global book pop up, a new logo pop up on OddsJam, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen that book before. Before you go and just sign up and take advantage of their deposit bonus, take a look on the tools at OddsJam and see if that book pops up at all. Does it appear on the arbitrage screen? Does it show up on the positive EV page or the low holds page? If you can't find profitable bets on that new global book that just appeared, I wouldn't sign up with them and take advantage of their sign-up bonus. I would just sign up with them and disregard the bonus, right? You don't want to have your money locked up, and then you are having to bet into a book that isn't showing value at all, and now you just have to place a bet just to work through that. Or you got to place a bunch of low holds bets that you're losing money on. Don't do that. So it's all about being prepared, whether that's live arbitrage betting, whether that is signing up with a new global book. You want to be prepared first and foremost all day long. Because if you're not prepared, you're most likely going to put yourself in a world of hurt is what most likely is going to happen. Can I take this over on? Some of these are similar. Most of them are different, though, I would say. So we're going to try to hit this 6-leg entry up over on Underdog. Elder Bets. Oh, man. Asking Mookie Betts not to get an RBI in Coors Field. Like, are you serious, dude? I really don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. Under 29.5. Tommy Pham. There's all 6. Not going to lie, I'm not like super excited about this play. This is a flex entry, but I will share it with you guys. Yeah, Sunday U.S. Open live betting for sure. For sure. I totally forgot. I just totally forgot when the dates are. Yeah, August 18th. Dude, I totally forgot. That's now. The US Open's right now. What am I doing with my life? Completely forgot that the US Open is happening, which is one of the major tennis tournaments, guys. So let me pause for 1 second. Satya, thank you for reminding me. Okay. It has been, Irish. It has been. That's a good point. It's a good point. All right. I don't normally do this on streams, but we're going to do this right now. Live betting tennis majors. Do not let this pass by. Do not. Odds jam, especially with live betting, it can be an absolute time. So many times, guys, your massive profits from sports betting don't necessarily come from day in and day out grinds. When you see an Alex Monahan like last year hit for 60K, sometimes it's certain events where you can really make your money. Going after this major tournament in tennis is your opportunity to really make some money. Really, really good money. Using Pinnacle as your sharp, going after these books live betting. And if you guys have access to Hard Rock, crush them. You can crush Hard Rock on tennis. Going after Canby Sportsbooks, DraftKings, Onyx. Go after these books for live betting. The major tennis tournaments are a gold mine for making money. So focus on that. And obviously it's the US Open, so the timing of this in terms of when these tennis matches start are great. During the week, guys, especially when the tournament starts like today, there's a ton of matches today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. There's going to be a lot of matches. Once we get down to the quarterfinals, not as many matches going on. This opening week of the tournament, smash, 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 smash. Massive amount of money that you can make. Don't sleep on it. So, okay. Want to make sure that I got on that. Yeah, Los Bets. I mean, I was in that same thing. So that's basically, here's what's happening, Los. Here's what's happening to you. They are running the same exact playbook as JuiceBet. That's why I fully believe that JuiceBet and BetWhale is like the same person, the same odds, the same book. Because JuiceBet was doing the same thing. JuiceBet started only then paying out $300 at a time. And then all of a sudden, and they paid me like 3 or 4 times doing that. And then they just stopped paying altogether. So honestly, if you have like $5,000 in BetWhale, I would honestly, there could be a chance you're not going to get there's probably a good chance you're not going to get all that money back. If you have $800 in BetWhale, I would say there's a very high chance you'll get all that money back. But they're pulling the same thing that happened over there at JuiceBet. And now if you go to JuiceBet, you get the same sign. Yeah, you get this. This has been the same thing for like a year now. It's been the same thing. So there you go. So I totally forgot about the U.S. Open. Hand up. I totally forgot about it. Thank you, Sally, for reminding me about that because this is a big week, very big week. This is going to fill in the gaps when it comes to making some really good money. When it comes to what's going on, live betting, while we just have maybe some baseball. Today's a big slate of baseball and WNBA. But yeah, also forgot about WNBA. I want to make sure we hit up a little bit of WNBA. Let's look at some player props. And we'll also look at some of this. I will say this, guys. I will say this. A guy that I'm very bullish on, I mentioned this on the streams before, Salt Covers on X. SALT Covers. Very big fan of him in terms of WNBA spreads, totals, money lines. I really like him a lot. Check him out. I'm a big fan of him. Let's go after leagues. Let's go WNBA. There we go. And then honestly, guys, for myself, because we can look at main markets too, I like to look at FanDuel. I'll look at a couple different books, but I like to look at FanDuel, especially for player props. Tina Charles, props builder, plus 110 odds. What do we got here? This is what I'm looking for, boys. This is what I'm looking for. FanDuel, Props Builder. Props Builder's at plus 110. FanDuel was at plus 108. Now they're at minus 120. They did retreat back to minus 112. I love this. Going over to Props Builder. I'm playing this immediately. Any of the books, any of the global sports books. I'm logged out over here. That's fine. Going to hit them up, guaranteed. Let's go over to Bet Online, and let's hit them up. So when you see, again, sharp sports book like FanDuel move in a certain direction, I'm all in. All in. Again, shout out to Senor Guerrero for a really nice gift. Really appreciate it. It's fantastic. Love this. Got my name on it. I feel like really legit with my name on a cup. It's awesome. All right, so let's look at this WNBA play. This is Sun Mystics, rebounds. We're looking at Tina Charles. Max wager that I can place is 136, so I'll go in for 135. Okay, we're in on that. Props Builder. I could obviously go to another sports book and hit this up again if I wanted to get my fill. That's why we love it. Cool. Okay, Courtney Williams. Again, you can do this at Profit X too, right? We're using FanDuel as the sharp. But I like it when FanDuel moves. So in this scenario here, guys, FanDuel's moving a little bit, but they're pretty much, as you can see, the last 13 hours, they're bouncing back and forth. They were at minus 104, minus 106. They've been bouncing back and forth the entire day. I don't really like this play because I'm looking for specific movement. Courtney Williams, this is what I like to see. Courtney Williams, we kind of zoom out a little bit. What you're going to notice here on FanDuel, you can kind of see within the last hour, they're moving down, right? They were at a minus 104. They were at minus 102. They're starting to slowly move down to minus 110. Same thing here. Points, rebounds, and assists, Lynx, and the Liberty. This is where I'd go after the under here, right? I like seeing this type of movement off of a sharp book. Props Builder, guys, in my opinion, you can have a fun time with them. Again, I'm limited. I'm just going to go in for 125 on this, but I like it. All day long, right? Going after Props Builder, I think you can have a really good time. Why wasn't it placed? Do I got to go to another book and log in? It's not difficult to do this. Let's try this once. Oh, that's right. I don't have enough money. I forgot. My balance is too low. I totally forgot. I'm like, I only got $40 in the account now, and I'm like, why can't I get this bet down? Man, sometimes I'm a dummy. But anyways, guys, do not sleep on how important it is to hit this to go after tennis live betting. I'm going to focus on that this morning for sure. All right, guys, that's the stream. Questions? Email me, DM me. You want to work with me? Set up a free 30-minute call. Let's talk. Let's talk about where you're at in your sports betting journey, the books that you have, your risk tolerance. Let's set you up for success. This will be my 4th year. 4 years coming up on September. I've been doing this for a minute. And while I don't have all the answers, I know that I can make you money and help you get on the fast track to success, right? Tell you what to avoid, what to go after. If you want that, go set up a call with me. Let's chat. Have an awesome Tuesday, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning.